Hey.
Hey. Welcome to the Madhouse.
To the Madhouse.
For another segment
of the Soluri.
No Guts, No Glory Hour.
Thanks for tuning in.
Hi,
Tonight
everybody.
we got a good show for you.
Yeah, definitely. So how you doing?
I'm doing great, sweetheart. How about yourself?
I'm good. It was 82 degrees today in my Jeep at lunchtime, so that was really great. Actually, no, I think on the way here, because it usually gets warmer even by this time of the day. So it's beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather. Great weekend.
Great weekend. We saw
horrible fight.
What?
The Pacquiao fight, Mayweather.
Well, first let's start with Friday. We went to see Eric Clapton.
Yes.
At the Garden for his 70th birthday, and he was amazing. And he brought out John Mayer, Jimmy Vaughn. He was just amazing. And what I loved about it the most was, of course, he's a guitarist extraordinaire, but his voice was smooth and golden,
like it never changed.
Like when he first started, which
the thing that changed, it was different. I remember when I first seen Eric Clapton. I think it was probably 1981 or 82, and I seen him at the Garden, and all you smell was weed through the whole place. I mean, a young guy with cruising around, weed.
Weed, no.
Yeah, and now we're in our 50s, and some older guys are there, and you didn't smell no weed. All you smelled was Ben Gay.
It definitely was weird, because I think it's the first concert I've ever really been to. Well, maybe that and Rod Stewart, where everybody was older.
The times have changed. They're doing different things to get rid of the pain now.
Yeah, and then you were sitting somewhere else in the beginning, and Jennifer and I were sitting next to each other, and Jen got up to go get drinks or whatever, and as soon as she left, some drunk idiot came and sat right next to me, and was really, there goes the sign, was really annoying. And then I text Vinny, some guy's bothering me, and you were up there in a flash, bailing me out and saving me.
That's what I do.
Yeah, the guy was bad.
That's what I do.
And then we had, we spent the weekend in the city, and we had a great time with Kevin and Jen, and we watched the awful Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and that was...
thank God we had good people, good friends to be around, because that fight was horrible.
Yeah, it was...
I can't take a running boxer. I like a boxer that stands toe-to-toe. That's why I like the UFC, MMA.
Yeah, well, you know what? And everybody has their opinion, but a lot of people say his skill is in his footwork, and therefore he was able to,
Well, that's how he fights. I mean, he fought the fight that he had to fight to win.
Right, the fight that he fights.
He fought the fight to fight to win. If ever it was, it was.
Not our kind of boxing. Not our kind of boxing.
Right.
We want to see some head-crushing kind of stuff. And that was it. And you brought your lacrosse team to second place in a tournament.
St. Pat's Lacrosse. I'm the head coach of the middle school, St. Patrick's. And we had a tournament this weekend, and my kids were phenomenal. I mean, they lost the first game, and it was a tournament. We played a lot of 8th graders. We only have 5 8th graders on our team. And we got to a loser's bracket and worked our way back to the winner's bracket. And we wound up playing for the championship. And we lost 4-2, but my kids played 3 games in a row. They played 8 games all day, but they played 3 games in a row. And the team we played had 2-game break. So they were fresh and we were tired. But my kids never gave up.
No, your kids did
I love
great.
you guys. I love their parents. It was phenomenal.
It was great. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And of course, the Rangers. Squeaked out a win. I mean, great games. These playoff games are always the most fun to watch,
Yes,
right?
and they got a game tonight.
Because they're always close. Good teams usually have very close games, which is really good. And game 3 is tonight, and we're going to have a Ranger win tonight.
And we're going to watch
Rangers all the way, baby. Henrique, you need that Stanley Cup. You deserve it, right?
Yes.
And of course, I had my chick hockey last night, which is always fun. I love my girls, and that's it. That was a pretty filled weekend, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so here we
Definitely
are.
was. At the Madhouse.
At the Madhouse, and we got 2 mad guys with us tonight. So
yeah, it's going to be
so
fun.
Apropos to have them here.
Well, actually, they're home. Janet's from Lyndhurst. I'm from Copiague. One of the guests is from Lyndhurst, and one's from Copiague. And
representing.
They happen to be good friends of ours, and one of them I grew up with as a kid in high school, and we laughed. He's the one I told you about, poked me in the eye. I told the story on here before. But without further ado, it's Frankie and Richie Ragu.
Hey, hey guys.
How are you?
Good. Welcome
How's
to
it
the
going?
Madhouse.
That's
I know
fine.
you've been here
I've
several
been here
times, so
with
you're
the Betty
no
Gagoon show. Yes.
stranger to the Madhouse.
Hello, Betty. I know you're watching.
And Frank, this is your first time, so it's your Virgin-esque premiere here in the
Yes,
Madhouse.
it is.
But you probably are the one of... Whoa!
You probably
The
should.
sign ain't working tonight.
It's not working.
That's
no.
live TV.
That sign was me Friday night.
But you know what? You've probably been shouted out more than anybody. Sorry, AJ.
I know, we do that in AJ chat.
Quote, quote, quote,
It's funny. It's funny because when we do the shout outs and you and AJ always go back and forth, you know, and it's cool. You know, we're all tight. We're like a family. You know, Copeg's a small little town. It's
I agree with you 100%.
Lindenhurst is a big town.
yeah. It's
Right,
like
Richie?
you know. It's
Oh. Don't talk or somebody will hear it.
it's a different kind of place.
It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
It's
I mean,
a long run. You know, you're born there, right, Frank?
I was actually born in Queens,
In Queens?
but I moved out here when I was like 2 years old. But yeah, I'm Copeg all the
Do
way.
you guys same age? I mean,
Come on, look at him, look at me. Come on.
No, he's
Oh.
2 years older.
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Somebody
I'm 2 years old.
Honestly,
Shannon,
Frank,
somebody
I
lied
have
on
no
the
idea.
really?
Seriously,
I'm kidding with you.
seriously.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
Frank's my little buddy.
Yeah.
He's 2 years younger than me.
Oh, he's younger. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I had.
Oh,
no
he's
idea.
younger.
I actually thought.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
she thought I was
I-
old.
I know.
She thought you were old.
I had no idea really. But yeah, Copeg's a
now
fun
you
little
did
town.
were you born in Lindenhurst?
No, the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
See, I love this.
And you
Someone,
went to Lindenhurst school.
Yeah, 2 years old and I moved to Long Island.
me too, a year old.
How do
One
you
of the
remember
schools.
that at two?
They took the short bus. Yeah.
Had to fit.
You don't fit on a short bus. I got you. I got you, Rich.
I went ahead
Before we
sideways.
go any further, we have a mutual friend,
Yes.
dear friend. I don't see you as often as I really wish I could, Francine D'Angelo, but you will always be my dear friend since we were 5 years old. And I know you're good friends with Richie, and we love you. And let's give Fran a shout out and kisses.
Yay.
Mwah, mwah. We love you, Franny.
I love Franny
But-
too.
Just
So-
came back from today from stressing out. My girl Alicia, we come back from Coney Island. Traffic's backed up. We're going this way, going this way. Just get there, Rich. Just get there. Thank you, babe.
Yeah, you made it, definitely.
He made it.
I made it.
You're here with us.
2 wheels for the side. They say I get a phone call. Hello, Chief.
What is with the lobster phone? I know.
The lobster phone's
What is
something
the
new.
lobster
We're
phone?
working on a video for it.
Is it a real lobster?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it pulls up and
It folds
everybody
up.
freaks out. And I do it. And
Now you do this on stage.
no, I did in the back. Now Benny wants me to do it on live.
Okay.
Wow. Now these aren't the same lobsters that you actually, 'cause
Sir,
you're a chef,
No.
right? Where are you a chef? On the water?
On the waterfront.
And we'll tell everybody where that is.
That's 82 Brightwood Street in Patchogue.
Brightwood?
Bright with a B.
Brightwood,
Yeah.
okay.
And we do comedy shows every 3 weeks. And the last one was our first one. And it was like blowing, Paul
So
Bond.
the first one was the last one? The
No, Paul Bond like blew. You walked out with stomach aches, man. It was a Las Vegas show.
It was great.
Everybody loved it.
Well,
It was Nicole,
yeah, Rich.
Monica. It was
Yeah, all the rest
Joey
of them.
Capella. No, it was Pat Marone. It was Les Deegan.
Now, do you
Oh,
put
wow.
this together?
Yeah, I promote it.
Oh, so
Okay,
you have
you're-
that
you're
many
the promoter.
comedians in one
Yeah,
night
and
at
then
the
Paul
restaurant?
Bond and Benny Gagoose was the host, and Paul Bond come on. You were there, Frankie.
It was
He
great.
just
Yeah, Frankie asked us to come. He
It-
invited us to come
it was
out.
one of
But
those
my
shows, you know-
Janet had my kids come over, the girls, for my birthday, and my
Yeah.
granddaughter, and it was so.
Paul
they
blew
come,
the
they,
doors
they
off.
all
They
exceed
come
everything.
first,
you know?
yeah.
I don't
absolutely.
think I could top the guy. It was a Vegas show.
Really? So,
Oh.
so this is every third Wednesday of the month?
Yeah,
What is it?
May 20th,
May
the next
20th.
one. Frank's on the card.
Oh, May 20th is the next
Oh,
one.
okay.
I'm on the card.
Wow.
Now,
that's
is this clean comedy or
No,
anything
no,
goes?
no.
Oh, good. It's not clean
No.
comedy. That's
In fact,
great.
Paul
We'll be
Bond-
there.
Well, we like it as dirty as it gets.
Yeah,
you
no, we
know?
just like comedy. No,
Yeah,
no,
we
in all
do. We do.
seriousness,
We've
just
been to a
comedy.
lot of comedy
Yeah.
clubs. We've seen a lot of comedy. You know, I love movies, comedy movies.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Frank, let me start with you. We were talking. You grew up in Copeg,
Yes.
right? Graduated Copeg, and I remember we were younger. You started your own business. You were doing
Yeah.
crazy stereos, and everybody
Yeah.
admired Frank for you put out the sound, bro.
Well, it was.
If you wanted sound in your car, you went to Frank.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually, when I just had graduated high school, I started working at a small place in Deer Park, Cruising Music back then. And I worked my tail off there, and I learned a lot. The guys that I worked with were very advanced. Then I went to work for this place, Ball and Barry's, and
Oh, I remember
Ball and
that.
Barry's was around for a
Yes, I
Yeah.
remember
You
that
were on the
show.
radio a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Madam Mary.
while.
Yeah.
Then I went to work for Cartoons.
Oh, there's another one.
Cartoons was
Okay.
was a great job. It was probably one of my most favorite jobs.
And that was because,
Just the whole crew was great to work with. We were very busy. And like Vinny had said, I started experimenting early with,
drugs?
no.
Later.
Later.
We'll get to that.
That comes in later. But I guess, maybe you're right. But what happened
felt right to
was I'd experiment because Vinny's right. That was about the time when the boom started kicking in.
Yeah.
You know, it was really all about the bass back
Yeah,
then.
it
All
was-
about the
Yeah,
It really
so, and we kind of like started doing a lot of custom work and, you know, the CDs
Right.
had just came out. You know, we were, first of all, back in the day when you had an 8-track,
You
you were
was
cool.
shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I
You
remember
was
that.
Then when you got a cassette,
You're still cool.
when you got a cassette player with, you know, fast forward and rewind, you
Yeah.
were really cool.
Yeah.
You know, and then eventually CDs came out.
God, we're
Right.
old.
But CDs was like kind of like a, you know, wow. Oh my God.
But wait, let me hold you one
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Remember when the 8-tracks came out and it had 3 songs on each track, and you could skip 4
Yes.
tracks and get back to the first one? I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
how
was
about,
cool.
How about when you did a fast forward on it and you took it out and the whole thing was out like 3,000 yards.
It went from here to Rome.
And we sit there with tape trying to put them back together again.
Yeah, that's
I still
fucked
got it.
up.
Before my father would find out. So
So-
you're saying then the CDs came out?
So then the CDs came out, and I stayed at Cartoons for about 7 years, and that's actually where I had met Chris Angel.
Okay.
That's a
Okay,
weird.
because he's from where?
he's from East
Massapequa?
Meadow.
The
Oh, East
musician.
Meadow, okay.
Yes.
The illusionist.
Right.
His
He's amazing.
cousin was my assistant manager, and I still remember to this day. And the reason I'm bringing it up is it's so cool because I get like these chills where he came in, and I don't know if you know the story about Chris, but Chris wanted to be a musician, and he wanted to mix his music with his magic, and he ended up doing magic naturally. But I'm not saying he was a nobody, but he was just starting. And he came in and he would do these cool magic tricks, you know, while we were working on his car.
Now, was he funky looking back then as well? I mean, was he?
Well, I mean, I
He's
happen to
mystic,
think he's
yeah.
a good-looking guy. I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't
No,
mean.
no, no.
bad. I
He's
mean,
like he's
cool.
got his own
Yeah,
style.
he had.
I mean,
well,
back
he-
then, did he have that same?
He was more into
you
the
know-
rock look back then, so his
Okay.
hair was very long.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah, I didn't mean in a bad way.
no. I'm just
Well,
saying.
let's-
His
learn.
own swag. He had his own swag, like, you know.
I learned from people like that, and it's cool that you had bring that up because when you dare to be different, any superstar dares to be different, and it usually works for them.
Right.
So, you know, then I hadn't seen Chris for years. You know, everybody went their own separate ways. Like Vinny said, I opened my own place, which was called Noisy Toys.
Noisy
after the
Toys.
fact.
Oh, that's a great
And
name, too.
I'm watching TV one day, and I see Mind Freaks. And I was like, oh, my God, you know, how...
Years
that,
later.
Yeah, that's
Years
so...
later, yeah.
Years later.
Yeah.
And I was just so shocked. You know, what a great feeling that is to
Yeah.
see somebody, you know, just normal.
Well, this
well,
guy,
to see
he
them
was just
succeed,
starting
you
out, and you're
saw
like,
them,
wow,
yeah.
this guy made it.
It's great to see
Yeah,
somebody
not only did he
succeed
make
like
it,
that,
I'm
yeah.
seeing things that, you know, he's
Yeah.
the illusionist of the century.
Oh, my
and,
God.
You know, and it was just, it felt good. It felt good. And as a matter of fact, when he was in Huntington, at the Paramount, he was nice enough
He
to
was
take
there
his
about a
time
month
out.
ago,
He's
right?
not an easy guy to take a picture with, you know.
right,
You have to
right.
see many people. And, you know, we reminisced a little bit, and he was nice enough to...
Cut you out too.
Yeah, no, he was really nice.
Actually, we know somebody who's really good friends with him as well, Holden Leeds. We met him through Kevin and
Oh,
Jen.
yes, yes,
Do you know
yes.
Holden, his friend Holden? He's a photographer.
That's right.
Hi, Holden, if you're watching.
I don't know if I
Okay,
had that
yeah,
right.
no. So anyway, so you got to see him.
I got to see him and we got to talk after the show a little bit, and he was nice enough to say, you know,
Amazing.
get my act together and get things cooking, and he was going to introduce me to Carrot Top and T.L. Huey because he has a lot of connections
Wow.
in Las Vegas.
Right, right.
But you know
Those are
what?
big time
That's
comedians, man.
Yeah.
just getting to know people and networking, and like I said, being since I got back from North Carolina, it's been amazing. You know,
When did you come back? How long?
I only been back 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
So, like, hooking up with you guys has been amazing, and Richie, and
Cutting you.
and
You were gone for how long?
2.5 years.
Yeah.
So, and I studied comedy down there, and you know, I worked driving.
Is that where you first started studying comedy?
No, actually, I started. You want to go into that?
Yeah, we do.
I started studying comedy. I always was fascinated by comedy. And, you know, once you get into your life, you know, your kids, you get married and stuff like that, it's kind of like, do you ever get to do
Right.
what you really
Right.
wanted to do?
It's hard.
It becomes difficult. Now, I always made a good salary. I made a good living. You know.
I want to just intervene right there because you know what you're saying is true. You have goals in your life and you want things to do and fun things to do, but you know what? You can't always do what you want to do when you have to do what you
Right.
have to do.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I
Well-
mean? As far as you know, wife and kids and
Yeah, it's hard.
things you have to do.
Right,
Once you
exactly.
make that commitment,
Responsibility,
there's
right.
things you have to do.
Right. I just want to we're going to take a quick commercial
We're gonna do
break,
one
and
of
we're going
these.
to come. Yeah, we're going to do one of these. The big C.
The big C.
I
Yeah,
told someone
and
that the other day.
oh my God! Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm not touching that.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. not a few kinds, like supermarkets.
Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts.
But up to 52 varieties.
The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say. Time to make...
I think this is a good time to tell you. You're doing okay, Mom. I can call you Mom, right? I know we haven't known each other very long, but you seem like a real keeper. You're not perfect. There was that strained carrots incident, but you're trying. You pick up my bottle every time I toss it out of my stroller. That's high comedy to an 8-month-old. You hum the Barber of Seville when you wash my hair. So cool. And your rub-downs are out of this world. Anyway, I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You know, right? How much I love you? You're doing okay, Mom.
Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I do, actually.
Okay, we're back.
So we're back.
I do.
We're back, and we're back with Frankie. Well, that's Frankie's stage name, Frankie.
Frankie, that's right. So
And we were saying.
So we were saying before the commercial break.
We were saying how you can't, as you become responsible with children, marriage,
right.
or whatever, or a real job, you know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah.
comedy is a little tough. I
Right.
mean,
It's
not
Gotta
really-
start, it starts
It's
as
a
a
lot.
hobby.
It's a lot tough. Comedy's a lot tough.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough. It's very competitive. It's a
tough.
lot of work, you know. So I was always fascinated by comics, you know, by how people could catch someone's attention. You know, what made them different.
Right.
Like, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. We discussed this
Right,
already.
right.
I knew it.
I was always
I knew it.
amazed. What? That's messed up.
I knew it.
I was always amazed. People, Rich, I want to get you bad. I swear to God. How this guy would just whatever the word is I'm looking for. He magnified everybody like
Right.
On stage.
He got
for
their
90,
attention.
100,000
Right,
people.
just-
Yes.
Just
this little
hypnotize
guy.
them, boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Captured their attention.
And how comics do it. And I think, Janet, we had this discussion. Comics, you know, don't have a band behind them. You know, they don't
Right.
have no one to point the finger
Right.
to.
Right.
Even actors say that stand-up comedy is much more difficult than acting.
Oh,
Absolutely.
the actors, there's many actors would never
Because
do that.
usually an actor has either an entourage or not a huge entourage, but even if it's one other
No,
person.
but
or a
an
few
actor
people-
gets this cut. You know,
Right.
let's that didn't look good.
Well,
when you're a
well,
comic,
no, unless you're on Broadway and you're doing live theater
Well,
or something
right,
like that,
that-
you don't
well,
have
that's
that.
different.
But
That's different,
TV,
but, you
movies,
know,
yeah.
in that aspect, yeah.
Seinfeld, he was right. We said, there was a survey, would you rather die or do stand-up comedy or talk in front of an audience? And people pick die.
Yeah, because people are afraid to get up in front of an audience. And now that you're the center of
You're funny.
attraction, and you have to make them laugh.
You've been on the
They came to laugh. And if you don't make them laugh,
yeah.
oh, they can get
Critical,
mean.
extremely
you know?
critical. Yeah.
But, there's another thing with that.
Or just give them a lot of liquor. And
Janet
then-
had mentioned that there are some bad comics. I hate to
There's-
say it.
yeah,
Yeah,
there-
there is.
But I'm going to tell you
And
about
I feel bad for
how
them.
comics are so unbelievable as far as building their self-esteem on stage. You never, ever, and I've never seen it happen before, see a comic come off stage and
cry?
saying that he did bad. He'll always say that he did good. No matter what,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
You will see, and you try it. If you go to a comedy show, not once will you see a comic, because every comic, comics are very hard to profile. Every one of them is a little different. Every
Oh,
one of them has a
sure.
different personality,
Right,
Of course.
a different voice,
Of course.
a
Right.
different technique,
Different
props,
looks.
no props.
Some of them walk around fast.
Some of them walk around real fast.
Real fast.
And that's their
Bring
thing.
2 pairs of
Everybody's-
shoes.
He brings
More
2 pairs of
than
shoes.
They get exhausted. Oh my God.
I broke a sweat last time I
So
watched
you're
them.
saying, but if you're up there and you know you're bombing, nobody's laughing, they still walk off and think they did all right.
But, all right.
Well, is that a psyche
Let me back up
that
a
you
second.
learn?
That's
That
what
you
we're
have to-
talking about. We were just talking about open mics
Right.
and doing a real performance.
Right, okay.
A real performance, you should pretty much have your act down. What makes comics unique also, real comics. Vinny and I had this conversation.
Yeah.
You mean a
You know-
comedy show? You're going
Yeah.
to perform
When
a
you're
show
gonna-
like I
when
better
you-
know the lyrics to a song if I'm
Right,
doing a show.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
There
You
you
should
go.
know what you're doing.
You ran ahead.
Yeah.
But
Sort
what
of.
makes comics a little more unique than a singer is that if you're really good, you could switch on the fly. And what I mean by that is, you
You
might.
know they're not buying this.
Well, you might all of a
have
sudden
to
be
wait.
asked to do a comedy show in like a Christian church, and you ain't gonna talk about dick in a Christian church.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Exactly,
A
yeah.
Catholic church, you might.
well, of
Just gonna talk
course.
about Mary.
If it's just priests and little boys, you might get away with it.
But and sometimes you don't even realize the audience is completely Christian,
Right.
or whatever
Right.
nationality or
Well,
religion they believe in.
That's the thing. You don't know what they like.
It could happen in a normal crowd.
Right.
You know what? Like, if I'm doing some comedy and, I don't get into, Andrew Dice Clay back in the day, I thought he was amazing.
Yeah.
He fell into that perfect era
Yeah,
we're
he
talking
did.
about. But again, if you think about it now, because girls kick ass now,
Right.
he'd probably get his ass kicked
Right.
by somebody.
Yeah.
But back in the day, we kind of with the Guido, hey,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Dickory,
Yeah,
Let me adjust.
exactly. But I think if trying that same stuff nowadays isn't going to fly, and apparently it doesn't fly.
Right.
You're right.
Whatever happened to him? Is he still out there?
He's coming back.
He's
making a comeback?
But,
I hope he's got a different joke.
no, he's not coming back.
Because I remember when he came back the first time, he killed it. He did. And then he did some stupid movie, Moon something movie.
Yeah.
And it was
It's
horrible. And then he came back with the same jokes.
It's hard to
Except
do
he
that
added a
raw.
couple more to them,
Do that raw
So
stuff.
let me ask
over
you-
and
Because
over.
wait, one second. He was saying his jokes, and the audience was saying the punchline with them, like he was doing
Right.
the nursery rhymes.
It was like an interactive
Right.
kind of thing. So, if you had to pick like a favorite comic growing up, somebody that really you always loved,
Who got me really
yeah.
kind of, who really got me first listening to comedy would have to be Rodney Dangerfield.
oh, we love him.
Rodney Dangerfield
Oh, yeah,
was
he was
amazing.
great.
Yes,
he
he
was.
And
We love his
Rodney
movies, too.
Dangerfield started very late.
Yeah.
He didn't start doing comedy.
Oh, really?
I
Until
think
he was in his 40s,
50s,
maybe
or
late 40s,
maybe
yeah.
Right, maybe
Are you
40s.
kidding?
Yeah, he
he
was.
started late.
He was older.
I did not
Fifty
know
three.
that.
And
Okay.
I've seen him do his spiels just clean.
Yeah,
And
and he just
It's
flows.
just amazing.
He
Yeah,
flows.
And,
he's
and speaking about that also, clean comedy, I got so much more respect for it now. I know you might sound like, we go for anything. Of course, I do too.
Yeah, if it's
But I
funny,
got to tell
yeah.
you something. Being able to make people laugh with clean, it's just way different.
Yeah.
But there's so many innuendos nowadays. I mean, you know what? If someone says, penis, or if someone says dick,
Right.
some people find dick to be funnier.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
like what's a dick weed? And
Right,
I'm still
right.
trying to figure it out today.
Yeah.
I get called that once a
Still
week.
pulling them.
I get,
I'm still pulling them.
Pulling him.
And who growing up? Who was your? I mean, Rodney Dangerfield definitely.
I'm gonna go
we
with
just watched his
I'm
movie a
gonna
couple
go with
weeks ago.
Gene Wilder,
Oh, Gene
Okay.
Wilder,
and I'm gonna go with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
And
We
Sam
grew up with
Kinison.
Richie Pryor.
As I
Sam
get older.
Kinison.
Sam
Yeah.
Kinison.
Yes.
Sam
See,
Kinison.
Sam Kinison, I couldn't really get.
I couldn't. You know what? He screamed too much. He annoyed me. Some of the stuff he did, like when he was
what
in the
movie-
movie
he
with
was
Rodney
in
Dangerfield.
Yes.
Back to
Back
school.
to
Yes.
school.
Yeah,
I
he
mean, that was
funny
kind
in
of funny, but
Yeah.
the
Otherwise,
constant screaming kind of drove me nuts. But me,
Right.
hands down, George Carlin.
Oh, well.
George Carlin was
Instead
a
of Hope-
very unique.
He was
comic.
intelligent.
Yes. He's very super
And
smart.
I got to
Yeah.
throw him on. Robin Williams. God bless him.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's.
Both of them was
one
like
of a
two
kind.
different branches.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
one
well,
of a kind.
Robin
One kid
Williams just-
ad lib, and one kid like give you like a paragraph.
Robin
You know,
Williams was an ad lib
The yellow,
guy.
the orange, the pink, the orange.
Right.
Janet, my favorite comic, he got me into it. My favorite would be Bernie Mac.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Bernie
Really?
Mac and Larry David, as far as
Oh,
writing,
Larry David.
is
As far as writing comedy,
he's amazing.
he's the one. He's on Broadway now, right? He's got a
For
show.
years, I didn't even know who Larry David was.
Yeah.
Until he actually came out with his show on
oh.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right,
Yes,
Curb Your
So when
Enthusiasm.
that came on, I'm like, who is this guy? It's
Well,
pretty
before
funny.
that,
So
he was
funny.
writing for something else. too.
Seinfeld.
yeah.
He's the writer.
Yeah.
You got to
Oh,
throw
my
one
God.
more. Is
Hysterical.
John Panette, rest his soul.
Who?
John Panette.
Who is that?
He's from Canada. Very heavy set. He's talking about food. Google him if you don't. He'll make you laugh. It's
Really?
hysterical.
How did he die?
John Panette.
He warmed up for Lady Gaga. That's how big he was.
Really?
Wow.
That's
What about you remember Robin Harris?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
He died too after his
Don't
HBO
remember.
special, but he was the one that did Bebe's Kids.
Listen, let's not forget Eddie Murphy, too.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
see Eddie
Come
Murphy.
on.
And I
Yeah.
saw him at.
I seen him do Raw and Delirious.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy was.
I saw
he
him.
was
Oh my
hysterical.
God! Before he was on Saturday Night Live.
Now, right
He
now,
was
there's a
supposed to-
low.
and he was
There's like really
funny,
nobody.
Funny. Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, there isn't, right?
But who's the comedy?
Well, we have you
Stand-up
guys.
comedy
You're up and
is
coming.
on the
That's
up.
right,
Yes.
That's big right now.
Stand-up comedy.
Finding, like you said,
You got to find the next Eddie Murphy, the next
right.
George Carlin.
And you
right.
don't know who that could be.
Yeah.
You don't know who that
Well,
could
there's
be.
so
It could
many
be me.
comics.
I mean, I could be here next year. It could be
I'm
Richie.
hoping it's you. I'm hoping it's one of you guys. I'm
But
hoping
Richie,
both
next time
you
he
guys.
comes, he can run you.
You can find it 5 times, yeah.
He can
Tell
run you.
Alicia, where am I? You can
was
find it,
trying-
baby. You can find
Listen,
it.
he's been on another show at this studio 3 times.
He called my
But he
girl-
couldn't find it
Called my
today.
girlfriend. Alicia, I can't find it. I can't make it.
How did you not find it? You've been here before.
All the time. I can't find the place.
You're just not going
Turn right,
directions. Some people.
turn left.
You had your GPS on?
Just go to Middle of the House. Forget it.
Did you have GPS?
Yes.
That's
G-
why.
Yes. APS,
I was waiting for a
GPS.
joke with that. I thought that
That's
was
why
a
I
joke.
couldn't
coming.
find it.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to England. She's all the way in England. We became Facebook friends. Borciola is watching it live all the way in England.
Oh, we have
Awesome.
viewers. Carl Wiggins watches
Well, she- oh,
watches
hi,
in
honey.
England live, and we have some people in Germany, and
Yeah, Brazil.
yeah, we go all over
We
the
have
place,
people
man.
all over the place. Yeah.
It's a spread out like a hospital.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, God.
So the open mic, we were talking about open mic as opposed to a comedy show. So open mic is if I just like open mic with music, I just
Yes.
show up, I write my name down on a
Yes,
list and they
yes.
call me up and I could be as funny as a piece of wood.
Right.
But I get up there and I do my thing and everybody has to suffer through it, right? I mean, you don't
It's like karaoke.
It's like a workshop.
sort of, well, no, workshop?
We help each other.
Yeah, how
It
do you
depends
work
on the
somebody
open
in
mic. He has kind of a tight-knit group.
Like, what do you do? Open mic workshop. Wait, that joke was no good. So
That's
let's
what we do at my
modify it.
place.
No, you don't
That's
do
what
that.
we
Do
do.
you really?
You could.
Yeah.
In front of everybody?
It's a good place to practice.
Okay.
my place.
Well, see, you know what? I had no idea.
I mean, but there are some open mics that
Well,
are carried on as shows. It's kind of like a little confusing out there. But an open mic, like we were talking about earlier, is like when you bring someone that you just want to see what it's like. And, stand-up comedy, and I think Richie will back me up on this, is kind of, we get high from that first clap or laugh.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
It's kind of like, I go out there sometimes, I'll grab the mic, and you know what? I'm not too camera shy. I'm not camera shy. But
You can't be in this business.
but
You
what
cannot be.
happens is
The butterflies.
when you get that first just look or laugh, all of a sudden you're like,
Adrenaline pump.
now
adrenaline
it's on.
That's
Now
part
it's
of
on.
show business.
And you know what?
In any aspect of what,
Comedy, like I said, Richie is a one-liner. Not really, but not really. But he's a
She
one.
says
He does more than one line, trust me.
He's more than a one
We're all thinking
liner.
the same
No, but he's a one liner.
Wait, hold on there, because we have to take commercial. And
Yeah.
we're gonna
Okay.
come back, and we'll get into that. Guys, stay tuned. We're coming back with Frankie and Ragu.
Guys, ready for the show? Yeah. Enjoy it.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Do dogs chase cats?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
And
We're back.
Then
We
I do
are
like
back.
3 stories.
Back in the madhouse with Frankie and Richie Ragu.
And before we left, we were talking about how different comics are. You know, there's storytellers, there's one-liners, and actually,
And Rich-
Storyteller, one-liner.
Right. Richie happens
Right.
to be a one-liner.
and you've
Thank
been telling
God.
stories your whole life.
And I can tell stories. Now, I'm not saying one's easier than the other, but
Yeah, I would think not.
You know, a lot of people don't realize what goes on. You know how Vinny had actually brought up a while back to me about heckling.
Right.
You guys hate hecklers to
It's
comedians?
not that I hate. Listen, I don't hate anybody.
Right,
The
that's a
problem
strong
is,
word.
I think a lot of people don't realize a couple of things. What happens is, some people think they, like we talked about earlier, comics.
Right.
They're not comics. You could be the town jerk off. You could be the class clown. You could be the funny guy,
at the
in
family
family
party,
reunions.
yeah.
You could be, you know what? But, well, he happens to be naturally funny.
Yeah.
But I think
but
he
look,
has
saying
enough
everything.
respect. He has enough respect because I don't think people realize what goes on when we're not on stage.
Right.
You know, like we were just talking, I tell stories, so I need to keep that story interesting. You know, it's not like me and the
sure.
boys hanging out, or me, us three, or us four hanging out. I'm telling you a story about what happened to me, and then I hit you with this punchline at the end, and you're like, "Holy shit, that was funny, Frank," and it was good.
Right.
When I'm doing it in front of a bunch of strangers, I need to keep their attention going.
Right.
So the stories that we tell, it's up to you to figure out if they're the truth, or if they're a lie,
80%.
or if we're embellishing it. And what I mean by that is, we'll blow it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, just like a guy does with his penis.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always big.
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah, I mean, Rich Ragu told me I was in the bathroom before.
No, I was fishing.
Like, oh my
I said
god!
fish, not that.
I need to embellish some stuff or add some stuff to my story.
Which is creative.
Well, because I
Wanna be
was
creative.
taught, or lessons that I took, was to start a joke out funny, get funnier, and then bam, be
Three-step.
your funniest. Right, your
Right.
three-step
Right.
to keep it funny. You know, like what he's doing, his one line is difficult also because
Yeah.
he has to just
Zam 'em,
bam,
zam
bam,
'em,
bam,
zam 'em.
and
One
then he's
after
got
the
to
other.
remember, right, and then he has to
Yeah.
remember to shoot into his next sentence.
I have a good friend,
Right.
Johnny Huff, who's a one-liner. You know
Oh
Johnny?
right.
my
Me
God,
and
you
Johnny
know
good
Johnny
friends.
up.
Oh, Johnny's
yeah, you
great.
did a show
He's
together.
funny, right?
We
We're
saw
really
one of
good
your
friends.
shows at the Flaming Heart.
Oh, that's right. At the
Flaming
Flaming Heart,
Heart.
we've seen your
Yeah,
show.
Flaming Heart.
But let me just skip over to Rich and let me ask you, what brought you to do comedy? What made you say
It's a
one
funny
day, I want to
story.
do comedy?
Wait, were you always funny in school? Because we didn't know each other, even though we went to Lindenhurst.
I know.
It was a
You're
big
younger
school.
than me, I
I
think.
took the short bus, you know,
Yeah.
the bad sideway. But
you were always
you
funny.
You know what's
Hockey
messed
helmet.
up? The people right now
What?
probably trying to figure out, did he really take the yellow bus?
I got the drool with
Well,
it.
he still has a hockey helmet, so.
And a mouthpiece.
Well, I just want to say one thing before you get into that. It's funny how he's funny. That's funny how you're funny. But you also do film work where you always play like a mob guy.
And I got another one coming.
Quiet, yeah, which is great because that shows your
Mike Lavaglio.
diversity.
Mike Lavaglio, I know you're watching. He writes a lot of Buttman's coming out, but we can't promote it more than that.
Okay,
Buttman?
but we'll have to bring him
But,
on with you.
yeah,
and-
Mike Lavaglio wrote it. He wrote
Didn't Howard Stern do a movie like that, Buttman?
the
Oh,
Buttman. Buttman.
What's the name
No,
of
the
that?
Butt-
But
Oh,
Bongo.
Buttman.
Mike wrote
Buttman.
Send No Flowers. And
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and now it's
Send
in
No Flowers.
transition, and I could leave it like that.
I like that.
But how I got into it was, I'm a limo driver for U.S. Limo,
Okay.
right? And I just came back from Arizona. The owner, who has mega bucks, Joe, I love you, Joe C. He goes, "You're so funny, Rich. I'm going to send you to school." He owns all the comedy clubs. He owns
Oh,
Governor's, he owns Brokerage, and McGuire's. U.S. Limo does. He goes, "I'm paying for your school. You're going." And I
Wow,
finished-
well, that's good.
Thanks to Richie Walker and Steve Lazarus and Peter Bales, I finished top of my class, and he paid for it, and it just progressed.
Wow.
And that night when I was performing, Kevin Mazur showed up, Carpenter. It was just
We were there.
all you.
Yeah.
Wow.
We brought that table.
How big?
Where were we? Where
Yeah.
was
At the Governor's.
Brokerage.
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 Right.
Where is that?
Remember we sat with Fred,
Up top, we
Fred
spoke with
Carpenter came,
Carpenter.
he had the white
Oh,
hat.
yes, yes.
Right, I just did the movie with him. It was like
Kevin and his wife.
I knew we were there.
I
Just
think
Chris
Richie might have been there,
Macagliano
too.
came. Chris and Laura
Chris
came.
Macagliano.
Macagliano,
Right.
yes.
And
Yeah.
Laura, yes.
Laura.
Jack and Kathy. Okay, now
Kevin
I remember the
Mazur
name.
was there.
Yeah, we had a whole table. There was
So,
like 12
so that
of
was
us.
your first. That was your.
That was the
premiere.
first time ever, and I finished top of my school, and
Tell us again, was Kevin Mazur there?
Kevin Mazur.
And did you finish top of the school?
Johnny,
Top of my
got that
school.
one.
Top of the school.
Kevin
I
Mazur
was
was there.
gonna jump off. No, Kevin's a great guy.
So you knew that you loved it from that moment.
And
I
it
mean,
just
that was your
progressed.
first step on to really,
And, yeah, and a couple of times, what happens, and you'll agree with this,
Has Kevin been there again since?
Kevin Mazur? Big plugs, bro.
He don't need no plug.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't think.
I don't think he needs that.
But anyway, it's just, it's like boom, 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 and then it happens, and that's what happens.
What happened?
I don't know, I was going with it.
Boom, boom, boom.
What just happened?
It just progresses.
It does.
And now you're promoting
No,
stuff,
I was
too.
going to tell you, there's a time when you do this comedian stuff, all of a sudden you lose it a little bit. And then it takes one show, I miss it. It's like an addiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple
can
times I
see
said,
that.
I'm done. And you know what? I'll be watching Johnny Huff. He quit. He's done.
Oh, he did.
No, he did
Told me I'm
not.
tired, I'm not doing it. And I do a couple of your jokes, Johnny. And I say,
Well, now that you're not doing
and
it,
I
I'll
do
steal
say,
your
no, I
jokes.
do say, thank you, Johnny Huff. Two of them.
Well,
Oh,
you know
we
what?
love him.
That's
You know
what
what?
you do.
The one that sticks in mind with me with Johnny Huff when he said that he talked about his friend who had his Long Island tattooed on his whole body, the North Fork, the South Fork, and he said, "Yeah, I got
That's
your
for real?"
He said, "I got your Riverhead right here."
I give him one once.
Yeah, he's dirty. He's fun. He's,
I received registered mail from Africa. I didn't want to open it. It might be blackmail.
That's a Johnny Huff show.
Johnny Huff.
Yeah, yeah.
I love you, Johnny.
Yeah, yeah. He's,
So you started late in life too, you know, right?
Yeah. And I've been told, I'm not Rodney Dangerfield, but I've been told, you're the next Rodney Dangerfield. I go, well, first of all, Rodney was the best, so
Yeah, he's-
I'll never be Rodney
But
Dangerfield.
no,
He's no longer with us.
Right.
Maybe that's what
I
they mean.
caught that when I first seen him perform.
You thought that?
He's
And I stole Johnny.
Yeah,
I went to
yeah.
one line because of Johnny Huff.
Yeah, Richie's funny. He's a funny guy, you know. He's
Well,
fast paced, you know. Funny how. Funny
Oh
how.
my God, yeah, he's.
Now, Frankie, how did you get started in it? You
Well, how I got
you were
started.
talking about you went from Noisy Toys, then
Right.
You,
Then
you,
I went to the mortgage business, and
Oh, you were You were in
I
the
was a
mortgage business.
Yeah, banker, and I did well, and family was doing good, and then the mortgage industry went bad, and a lot of things started going bad. I got divorced. My oldest son went to college. Let me give a shout out to my kids for real
Yeah,
I was
there you
gonna
go.
say I didn't even know you had kids.
I got
Okay.
my son Frank and my son Christopher.
Oh,
Love you guys.
Yeah.
And so everything just started falling apart.
it becomes
you
a
know?
downward spiral. It just seems one thing seems to feed off of
And
another.
then
a lot of
I
times.
wanted to become a rock star. I didn't really want to become a comic yet. I wanted to become a rock star.
What do you do as far as?
The rock star part meant drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. He didn't play an instrument. He just wanted to party like rock.
I
Okay,
wanted
you
to party
wanted to
like
party
a rock
like
star. I didn't
a
want to be a
rock
rock
star.
star
Okay.
singer.
Okay.
So I really fell into it head first, you know.
You got
and
hooked in there,
I
caught
got
up.
hooked in real bad. I got hooked
Drugs
in
and
real bad.
alcohol. Drugs.
Well,
both.
alcohol more towards the end because it was cheap.
Yeah.
You know, cocaine was probably my biggest thing, and then pills, you know, to offset the
Yeah.
Up.
To go to sleep.
Wait, to offset the Richie syndrome. I would kind of take,
And I don't do that.
I would take pills to
Right.
slow up, and that would enable me to party.
Right, you speed
party
yourself
more.
up, then
Right.
Yes.
slow yourself on.
So things got really bad till eventually I just like lost everything, and I became a totally different person. You know, I disconnected from a lot of my friends. I disconnected from family, and
Did you lose everything you worked so hard for?
financially, yes. I mean, just hit rock bottom, and you know what? At this point, the money doesn't make a difference anymore because I don't like when people say you don't need any money. I feel like punching them in the face.
Yeah,
when they say
I
that.
agree with that.
I've heard
Yeah.
that.
When
I
someone
mean,
says to me,
know,
"Well, you don't need any
yeah.
money to be happy," I
Yeah.
just want to punch them in the face.
Right, right.
So if I see you in the street and you say that, I'm going to punch you in the face.
Right. You know what? I'm
Fair
gonna
warning.
stop you there. I definitely want to come back and talk about
Okay.
that. As soon as we're done with the break, we'll take a
too.
quick break because this is stuff people need to know about. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
people fall,
Right.
but the whole message is you got to get up.
Back on the
And
horse.
maybe it's a life lesson, but getting up is the real important part to it. So stay tuned because Frank's gonna give us some more insight on the
It's gonna get a
falling-
little deep.
the falling and the getting up. So we will be right back.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! He's like, I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Old Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power. It's me.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act One will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
And we're back.
Hey, and we're back, and our studio room is really noisy. We really hear everybody talking.
I want to get to this
You
because there's lots of. We went
Start throwing beatings?
Was I going to throw a beat down? But we talked about comedy, and there's so much to talk about. The hour goes so fast. But you started to tell us about the
Yes.
darker side. Okay. So you spiraled down.
I fell into this real deep hole. You know, I destroyed any relationship that I had. I devastated my kids. You know, we didn't talk for almost a year. And a lot of it was me because I wanted to disassociate from everybody. The stuff I put my mother through was just mind-boggling. And it's amazing because you never think you're going to stoop to that level. Until finally one day I looked in the mirror and I said, oh my God, you really turned into this monster?
So you saw yourself enough to go, oh my God.
Yes.
See, that's big because.
Yes, because I seen
really be able to see
one specific day, I seen so much disappointment in my mother's face that after she left, we got into a little bit of a conversation about something. I don't really want to get into that detail.
That's
but,
fine, you don't need
to. There was so much disappointment in her face because she had asked me a question. She wanted me to be straight up with her. And I lied to her. You know, I lied to her. And she left that room. And she went back upstairs and she just started crying hysterical. I'm sorry. I started crying hysterical because I knew what the disappointment was.
Yeah, you heard
And after that, you know, I hadn't talked to my sister either. I hadn't talked to my sister for a while. So what had happened was finally my sister, which I love you, Roseanne, she really put an intervention together with my mom and some family members. And from there, I went to rehab. And
scary? Was it scary?
Not really, because when you're a drug addict or whatever you want to call yourself, or addicted to a drug, you kind of look for any excuse. You know, because the reason you become a drug addict is because you want to feel that void in life.
Right.
Like when I was drugged up, I could care less what you guys were doing. If you guys called me up, now me in my normal state, if you said, Frank, I'm stuck on the Jersey Turnpike, I'd be in my car coming to get you guys.
Right.
When I was drugged up, I would be like
Can I
this.
be number?
Yeah, okay, Janet, I'll be there.
Right.
You don't care.
You got money?
Exactly. You know what? You'd be like, yeah, can you give me a 50 when you get there? So
That's funny.
you just don't think. You don't think about anybody else but yourself. I don't even think you're thinking about yourself.
Right.
You just want to get high.
You just don't care.
You just want to be
you
high.
think about the next one.
Right.
You're chasing the next one.
Not even food.
So what had happened is my sister and my cousins and brought me to detox. From detox, I went into rehab, and I did my 28 days in rehab. And then, you know, it's funny because when you're done with rehab, you swear that you're fixed. You know, what are you talking about?
I'm healed.
Cool.
I'm healed.
I haven't done anything. You know, I'm good now. So my sister, like I said, she's a tough ass. My sister said, you're not coming home. She's like, you don't even think you're coming home. So then I went to Riverhead, and I spent almost 4 months in a sober house.
Okay.
And here's where the comedy comes in. Actually, comedy came in rehab. The comedy came in rehab because, like I said, I always thought that I was funny. And every time I'd hang out with people, like, you know what, you're really funny. And make a long story short, I made the 20-something people that were in that rehab laugh for 28 days.
I remember.
We just, and it was amazing
You heard it here first.
because those days went quick.
Yeah.
You know, rehabs isn't, you know, it's not like that commercial you see on that one you know that.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Exactly.
Messages or whatever the place is.
Passages.
Passages.
That's
you know what? It wasn't terrible, but you know what?
I mean, don't get me
it's
wrong.
It's like you're eating Copac High School food, you know. For
there is places like that, though.
No doubt.
You know, there is places.
And there should have been.
But there's a lot more that ain't like that, you know?
Well, and this place wasn't terrible.
And whatever it takes to make you better, who cares? You know what I mean?
But I'm sure the days are long.
The days are long, and you know what? And the days are scary, too, because on the most part, like Vinny had said, I'm a late bloomer, you know, as far as getting into an addict part of it.
Right.
Most of the people I went there were on heroin, and they were young. And what really kind of made you sick, and to this day it still makes me sick because I stayed in touch with, you know, a lot of people, I tell you not to, but we stayed friends, and, you know, they walk in a room, they're like, okay, there's 25 of you here, we just want to tell you right off the bat, you know, 80 of you are going to die. I'm like, what? 8? You know, all of a sudden...
You start looking around going, it's him? Him?
No, it's crazy, but you look around...
There's only
and you're
7.
Like, who's not going to make it? And then out of the 15 other people in there, they're like, well, you're going to relapse. So only like, you know, out of this whole...
So your percentage is kind of grim.
Only like 5 people stay clean.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
If that many.
If that many.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't want to take a whole bunch of time. From rehab, I went to the sober house, and the sober house was actually all guys. You know, they separate guys and girls, and we had to go to meetings. And Riverhead was kind of a good place because, I don't know if you know about Riverhead, but, you know, there's only one way in and one way out after a certain time.
Yeah. Right.
So it wasn't like you were going to do anything.
Right.
So I spent 4 months out there, and that's where I started writing. I started writing a lot.
You had a lot of time to do that.
I had,
then,
right.
yeah.
I had time, and I actually had started writing in rehab, but then I started, like, defining. And I got books, and I started to really, you know, I kind of taught myself, you know, I taught myself start a story and, you know, keep writing and keep writing. So I kept doing that. And then we had a little, like, group place where we hang out. I did my first show there.
Mhm.
And that's how I got into comedy.
That's great. I think that's really great. So
Now, let me ask you
that's
something.
a success story. And I
Is some of
congratulate
your
you.
act on rehab, or do you do anything like that?
No, I
And
don't.
When
I
you
don't-
were writing, were you writing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I don't like to. Listen. I love any kind of comic.
Right.
Whatever they want to say, they could say.
Right.
You know, certain topics.
each
I
his
don't
own.
like to hit on. I don't hit on grandmas.
Right.
I mean, maybe.
Well, back in the day you did.
Nowadays, grandmas are hot. You know, but are you a grandma?
Yes, she is.
Well, I am, yes.
Okay, see, you're a hot
There you
grandma.
go.
See? But I'm
I
talking
hit on
about,
a grandma. I hit a grandma.
I don't like to talk about, you know, crackheads and stuff like that. I don't specifically want to be on.
That's
drugs.
great. Yeah, I mean, listen, well, like the roasts. There's no limit.
No.
I mean, did you watch the Justin Bieber roast?
Yeah.
I mean, they were tearing his mother
It was pretty
apart.
good.
Yeah,
The dead father from 9/11. I mean,
Yeah.
there was no.
It's like
Kevin Mazur
Kevin
was
Mazur.
there, and he told me it actually went on for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was because they edited it. They
Right,
cut out a lot
right.
of stuff. And they were talking about Paul Walker when he died. They told Ludacris, you should have said, "Get out the way."
Yeah.
You know, get out the. I mean, they have no.
No, some people are like that.
It's like my new reality
Well,
show.
this
I'm naked and everybody else is afraid.
Isn't there really a show like that?
They have a show, Naked and Afraid.
So listen.
No, his reality show is he's naked and everyone's afraid.
The time is really escaping us really,
Yes.
really quickly. Doesn't mean we can't have a part 2 because there's so much to always talk
Okay.
about.
You want me to
But
tell a
I-
fast joke?
You got to tell a fast
You
joke.
want a fast joke?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Because I also want you
What
to
should I
be,
give 'em?
but I also want you to be able to tell the audience where they can find you and the upcoming
Okay,
shows.
so I'll tell you
So I
quick.
want- okay.
So listen, I recently just went to the doctor, and I don't know if you guys know, but there's this new pill out that's millionaires are buying them, and it's supposed to make you smarter, and it's supposed to, you know, just make you totally be advanced in life, right? So I go into the doctor. The doctor says, "All right, listen, do you really want this pill?" I said, "Sure, I want the pill." He says, "Okay." He says, "You know, you have to take an aptitude test to see, you know, because the dosage amount
Okay.
is what you need as far as the
Your aptitude.
the pill, right, the pill size."
Right.
So I go in, I take the test. He gives me my prescription. I go to the pharmacy. Come back from the pharmacy. This pharmacy girl, she's giving me like a funny smirk, and I'm like, "What's so funny?" So this is the fucking pill that I got.
Secretariat's got nothing on you.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So where can people find you guys? First, tell them the next show. I want you to look in the cameras and tell them.
May 20th on the waterfront. the restaurant I'm a chef at, 82 Brightwood Street.
He's a chef there. He's amazing, too.
Right.
You got to go there to have a
Frankie's
meal, too.
there. I'm on.
What day of the week is it?
It's a Wednesday night.
It's a
7
Wednesday
o'clock,
night.
free admission.
And 7 o'clock, it's early. There's
Oh,
nobody
9:30 now.
A Wednesday night, free
See that?
admission.
And you're out by 9:30.
Yes.
Everybody can do a
Oh, my
7:30.
audience loves free.
Okay, hold on. The English version of what he just said was that we'll be at. Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to be in North Carolina the 15th and 16th performing.
Right.
And then
Okay.
I'm coming back. I'm going to be with Richie on May 20th. And Richie and I are also going to be together at the Revolution on
Amityville.
June 15th.
Amityville 110.
Yes, and
corner
Amityville
110
on that
Muscle
one.
Conway.
Benny Gagoose is hosting the 20th show.
Right.
From
And
Madhouse
also,
TV.
now real quick, if you want to get in touch with me, you could go to Frank Macri on Facebook.
MACR.
MACRI.
Right.
If I don't friend you back, fuck it. I'm not going to get on. But I do get a lot of texts during the day and questions. And so if you want a question or you want to send me a joke, and if I think it's funny, I'll tell you. If not, I'll tell you go fuck yourself. So that's basically it.
And
Richie
what about
Ragu.
you? Richie
Richie
Ragu.
Ragu Facebook or ragulimo@gmail.com.
Right, and then you also have to look out because Richie Ragu has been in movies, Fred Carpenter movies
Fred
such as
Carpenter
Send No
movie,
Flowers.
Send No Flowers.
What else?
Charlie Mantle.
Charlie Mantle, we saw you
And
in.
a couple upcoming by
Charlie Mantle, Mike Funk, he was on our
Right.
show
Oh,
last
my
week.
God.
We love
Mike
Mike
Funk.
Funk. Mike
Right,
Funk's
the-
coming
the
back.
show's
June
awesome, by the
15th.
way.
Thank you.
Most
Thank
of the
you.
shows are like off the charts.
Thank you.
We love
Thank
you
you.
guys.
Tune in, baby. Madhouse TV. No guts, no glory. Come on.
We want to thank you guys.
No, we want to thank you. You guys
Yes.
are awesome.
Yeah,
Thank the
and-
Slurries, Madhouse TV, and Frank Macri. I love you all.
Frankie, babe, we
and-
love you, brother. You know,
Yeah, we
we go
love
back
you.
a
Thank
long
you
way.
so much.
Richie, too, we love you, too.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming
And
by.
next week, tune in because we have a great, actually, speaking of local, talent, movie-wise, we have Joe Pomerico, who's a
Joe Pomerico.
film writer, director,
Yeah.
producer. So he's going to be with us in the studio talking about an
And he's got
upcoming
that sexy,
project, and he's got a sexy voice.
Does he really?
Oh my God, so ladies,
He
you have
does.
to
He
tune in.
does these.
Like Barry.
What is
It's,
it? The tapes that you listen to.
audio books, like
With the
sexual,
voice.
sexually in
Can we do a quick shout out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, quick shout outs. My mother, my sister, my brother in law, my little nephew Steve. I'm Frankie, peace. And Will Castro, which I suggest you get on your show, a good friend of mine for many years in the stereo business, has his new show coming up on Velocity Channel. Now you tell me to look over there? Okay.
It's like Cross I Mary.
Unique Rides with Will Castro.
Okay.
Yeah, well, come on out, man. Come on.
Yeah,
the
we'll get in
studio.
touch with him.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
we'll get in touch
That's
with him.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's how we do it.
But
man.
we want to thank you guys. Come
Oh,
out and
thank
support
you.
your local talent
Thank you.
because,
Yeah,
we
come
gotta
out. We're
bring
gonna
it
be
in.
there. Let's have a good time.
May 20th.
May
We love you
20th,
guys.
7
Tune in
o'clock,
next
free
week.
admission.
Go
Peace, love you.
Rangers!
As
Let's
Frankie
go,
said.
Rangers!
Oh,
Come on,
G-Love
King
it.
Henrik.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Mwah.